Welcome to the Property Update. My name's Adam Grocke from Johnston Grocke. Thanks for listening. Today I'm going to focus on how you can purchase a property for less. Now this is some advice that we give our clients and it's very useful, especially when they're out there looking at property and negotiating with agents. Now the first rule is to understand how the asking price of a property is set. Now the asking price is a range normally that's put on the property, so it's the advertised price. Now that could be one price that's advertised, or it could be a range. If it is a range, generally speaking, the lower of that range is going to be the minimum that the vendor realistically will accept as an offer. Now in saying that, they may take less and they may take more. It comes down to the old economics of supply and demand. If there's more people that are in demand for that property, they want the property, more people going through the home, then you need to pay more for the property. So you're going to have to put in a very strong offer up at the upper end of the asking price. If there's no one that's interested in the property and the property's been on the market for a long time, you can actually put in an offer that's under the asking price and potentially pick it up cheaper. Now the key thing with that is knowing your competition. And what I would say is that your competition, the easiest way to find out your competition in terms of who else you're competing to purchase the property with, is going to the open inspections. Go to every open inspection if you're really interested in the property. Go to the open inspection, arrive there 10 minutes early, sit in your car, but don't go in yet. What you want to do is you want to sit in your car and wait until almost the end of the open inspection and see how many people have gone through the property. What that means is you're going to automatically see who else you're up against. That means that if there's a lot of people that have gone through the property, your offer needs to be at the upper end of the asking price or potentially higher. If you've been sitting there in your car for 20 minutes and no one's gone through the property, then you know that it may be possible that you're the only purchaser. If you're the only purchaser, put in your offer below the asking price because you know there's not much competition. Now you need to have a price set in mind for your offer. You need to know what your upper end is, and I would always start a little bit lower because agents are very good at negotiating. That's what they do for a living. So they will always try and negotiate you up. Now if the agent says to you, oh look, we need you to increase your offer because we've got several offers on the table, but you sat out the front of every open inspection, noticed that there was only one or two people going through the open, you may be able to call their bluff. That means that you may stay firm on your low offer and say, look, I'm prepared to lose the property for that offer. That's all we're offering, that's all we can offer. Please let me know if the vendor is going to accept it. Now, if you're willing to play hardball, sometimes it will pay off. As long as you've done your research and you know who you're up against in terms of other purchasers, you need to be aware that you may lose the property as well. And if you're happy to lose it for that price, then that's okay. The other information you need to know is how long the property's been on the market. If the property's been on the market for 7 days, you attend the open inspections early and monitor your competition, and there's lots of competition, you know your offer needs to be up at the high end of the range because there's a lot of people interested in the property and it's only been on there for a short period of time. If you monitor a property and it's been on the market for say 90 days, which is a long time, and there's been no price reductions or a couple slight price reductions in the asking price for that property, you know that, look, the market's not willing to pay that original price for the property, it's overpriced. You can go in with a low offer, as long as you've done your research, go in with a low offer and you may be acceptable. It may be acceptable to the vendor, which means you may get the property. Now that's really important. That data is available everywhere. Have a look on realestate.com. It should have days on market. It should have comparable sales for other properties, so you can get a good understanding of what other properties have sold in the area or even in the same street or in the same apartment complex. That's going to be vital. If you can see what other people have paid, it means you're not going to be paying too much because there's already sales in the market. Now you may not even need to pay that price. You may be able to pay a little bit less. Now, to put in a strong offer, if you can imagine it, there's two offers on the table. Put your vendor hat on at the moment. There's two offers on the table. One is for 400 and the other one's for 400,000. Exactly the same offers. One has subject to finance, which is a very common clause, and the other one has subject to finance. So they've both got that clause in there. One has subject to building inspection and subject to pest inspection. The other one has just subject to finance with no other clauses. The vendor's going to sit there and they're going to take the offer that is reasonably, or almost exactly the same except for 2 clauses, subject to building inspection and subject to pest inspection. They're going to go for the offer that has the least amount of clauses. What we recommend to our clients is don't put an offer in subject to building inspection or pest inspection, only put it in subject to finance. What that means is during the cooling off period, so once your offer is accepted and you sign a contract, you've got 2 full business days to call off on the property. So walk away from the property and say, look, I don't want it anymore. That's the time when you get your building inspection and your pest inspection done. So if your pest inspection and your building inspection come in and you're not happy with it, you can walk away from the property and you haven't yet paid a deposit and you can go and look for another property. It means that the offer that you submit is going to be as strong as possible. This in many cases has won our clients a property when there's been 2 exact same offers on the property. If you really want to get a property at a good price, you can put in an unconditional offer. It's not recommended because the property is yours, but it means that you can put in a slightly lower price because again, you've got less conditions. There's no subject to finance. It means the property is yours, but you need to make sure that all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted from a finance point of view so it doesn't put you at risk, and we don't recommend that. Now, you also need to ask why they're selling the property. That key question that you can ask the agent will give you a lot of information. Sometimes the agents won't divulge that, and sometimes they will, or sometimes they'll accidentally divulge that. If you know that the vendor is looking for a quick sale, it means you can put in a reasonable offer, sometimes lower, with a short settlement. If they need the money straight away, quite often they'll take a offer with less clauses, with a shorter settlement, so a 30-day settlement, because they need the money. Now that can save you sometimes 20, 30, 40 grand on a property because your offer, which is settling in 30 days, may be a lot better to someone else's offer, which will settle in 90 days. Use these tips, do your research, and make sure you get to the opens early and have a look at your competition. It could save you tens of thousands of dollars. But at the end of the day, if you really love a property and you're going to be in it for 10 or 15 years, pay what you want to pay for it and don't get caught up on $5,000 or $10,000. My name's Adam Grocke. Thank you very much for your time. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this Facebook page, and also feel free to share it if you think it's interesting information for other people. Thank you.